What's up, everybody? So, apparently, move over here actually to a different location in the store. So, there's going to be Dark Side of the Ring with Owen Hart. And it's kind of crazy to think about that Owen, you know, I was watching that pay per view when I was younger, Over the Edge. And as a kid, I didn't understand what was going on too well. The whole blue blazer gimmick, it's crazy. How they had him do that stunt, which wasn't necessary, really wasn't necessary. But yeah, like it's gonna be Dark Side of the Ring with Owen Hart in his last days. I'm looking forward to watching it actually, to see his final days, what he was thinking, what direction they're gonna go with him. Martha Hart, all them wondering like where was Owen Hart's career going to go after Over the Edge? He was going to become the Intercontinental Champion, beat the Godfather. And then that incident happened, and it was just a mess. Huge mess of things. And even more crazy, the pay-per-view's Over the Edge. Call it Over the Edge. Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring is going to be, I think, after the Road Warriors. Yeah, the Road Warriors documentary at 9. Um, yeah, that's gonna be a very deep, controversial documentary about Owen Hart. So you guys should tune into it and watch it. I'm saying like Owen Hart, he was. If you go back to WrestleMania 10, he defeated Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. How you doing? And defeated Owen Hart at Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. He was the Intercontinental Champion, feuded with Stone Cold Steve Austin, did a lot of things in his career that could have led him to the main event. But then suddenly, things changed. Bret Hart went to WCW, and then they kind of, ruined his whole career. They had him lose to Triple H at WrestleMania 14. They had him a tag team with Jeff Jarrett. They did all these things with him. And it's like at the end of Owen Hart's career, they basically were burying him due to the incident of the Montreal Screwjob. And if you look back at Owen Hart's career, they were basically just burying him. And they put him in that silly blue blazer gimmick. That blue blazer gimmick that killed his career and him, with the whole... Just looking back, yeah, Shawn Michaels, he did that stunt at WrestleMania. He went down on the thing, and he went down on a little string and went around all the people. He successfully did that. Owen Hart, he did that stunt on Raw is War, back in '99. And he actually successfully did that stunt that killed him at Over the Edge. And, makes you think, like, is it just a weird coincidence that pay-per-view, it just broke and he fell? It's just, it almost sounds fishy. It almost sounds unbelievable why that would happen. Like, it also, what makes me mad about the whole thing is, ruining such a great wrestler's career in that sense. You guys have any thoughts on Owen Hart or anything like that? Are you guys a fan of Owen Hart? I was a fan of Owen Hart. I thought Owen Hart should have been the WWF champion. Honestly, he could have feuded with Triple H, won the belt, etc. They say, I did a video about him a while ago. They were saying that if Owen Hart never had died, he most likely would have gone to WCW, and with Jeff Jarrett, he would have gone to WCW with Jeff Jarrett, and maybe he would have been maybe he would have been the WCW champion. Maybe when Vince bought WCW, maybe Owen Hart would have, maybe he would have been back in the WWF. Who knows? Also, in all the video games, Owen Hart was taken out. The last video game he was in was, I think, Attitude, maybe. I'm a little itchy. Sorry, I'm sunburnt real bad. Had an anxiety attack earlier, too, from, energy drinks and stuff. I'm not trying to be weird or anything like that. It's just how I am. But yeah, the Dark Side of the Ring is going to be a very deep show. I've heard, I can tell you some things they said. I'll tell you guys right now why Martha Stewart doesn't want him in the Hall of Fame. because she feels the Hall of Fame is all about money. It's not real. It's just a way to make the WWE more money. That's why she doesn't want him in the Hall of Fame. It's a joke to her. She feels like Owen Hart needs to be, it would de-appreciate Owen Hart's value as a person, kind of thing. Let's put him in the Hall of Fame, where they put Donald Trump in the Hall of Fame, Drew Carey, Mike Tyson, Pete Rose, a silly Hall of Fame. The WWE Hall of Fame is really silly. No one cares for it. And I am at work right now, but I had to talk about this topic because, this is as deep as the Eddie Guerrero incident, the Chris Benoit tragedy. This is a very, very deep incident that makes you makes you question yourself and say, what if he never passed away? What if Owen Hart, what if he was here right now? What if he never did the stunt? I mean, they would have probably kept burying his career. You can't put the blue blazer in the main event of WrestleMania. Yeah, I know. You watching it, Joe? You watching it, Joe? Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good documentary. I know. I'm looking forward to it, man. But imagine that picture you see on the video was Owen Hart's last moments before he passed away. Sad that he makes a gimmick, silly gimmick, and now he's going to, But mainly people want to hear about what does Martha Hart have to say about it, which we all kind of know. Like she is going pretty, yeah. Well, that's good. If you watch it, that'd be great. I'm gonna probably watch it here at work in a minute. You going good? That's good, man. I've been working a lot. I get to talk to you guys at work. There's no music in the lobby today, so I can conversate with you guys. I've been working a lot. I work 75 hours a week. It's not good for your health. But yeah, Bret Hart also had issues. When he went to WCW, Bret Hart got ruined as well. Bret Hart was never, I don't think he was ever the WCW champion that I remember. He might have been WCW champion. I remember Goldberg gave him a concussion that ended his career. So Bret Hart got screwed in WCW. Then Owen Hart got killed in WWF, and from there it's just history, You guys have any thoughts on the whole thing? Any thoughts on Owen Hart and, where you think he should have been at with his career, or do you think he was misused? Do you think that the stunt was... I mean, if people look at it, I will say this much. I don't blame Vince Russo for this. It's not his fault. It's not Vince Russo's fault. It was just an accident, is the way I see it. I don't think the stunt should have been done. I think the stunt was risky. But I'm not going to blame Vince Russo. It's not his fault. Yeah, I'm alright. But it's not, but I'm saying it's not Vince Russo's fault this happened. Vince Russo was alright. Vince Russo, he might have pitched the idea of it, but it was an accident. I mean, but I think that they shouldn't do stunts that are risky. But think about it. What if he went on a roller coaster and died, and went to Disneyland? They're going to blame, Mickey Mouse for why he died. It's not fair to Vince Russo why, they're going to blame him for it. And that's a very negative comment there. You guys probably don't agree. That's okay. If you don't like Vince Russo, that's up to you. Because Vince Russo made a lot of mistakes with wrestling and made a lot of dumb choices, and then more things led on to, we're going to blame Vince Russo for everything. We're going to blame Vince Russo for Owen Hart's death. But I'm not going to take it that far. It's not Vince Russo's fault. He just made a big mistake. One bad mistake after another. Maybe they should have made sure Owen Hart was more secure. They should have made sure Owen Hart was more secure with everything and made sure it was safer. I mean, a rope breaking, that's more of a technical problem. Should have put him on a different kind of thing. It's amazing he fell 60 feet in the air and crashed. There's actually some comments on YouTube about it. But a guy who was at the event who saw it happen, there was a promo going on, and they heard a gasp from the crowd, and they said like he took pictures of it, but he didn't have them developed because out of respect for Owen Hart. Time to go, you guess? Yeah. And what makes yeah, you remember that, Travis? Yeah, it was a pretty good match, Travis. It was a good match. That WrestleMania 10 match was very, very good. One of my favorite WrestleMania matches. It's underrated in my opinion. And Owen Hart defeated Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. I think the reason they ruined Owen was because Vince McMahon went to that Montreal Screwjob. That's why they started just using Owen Hart a lot. So it's not really his fault, you know. It's kind of how people are sometimes, you know. It's how Vince McMahon is. If you mess with him, he messes with you and your family and screws over your whole family. I mean, it's kind of crazy how life is sometimes. Hey, my friend, she passed away yesterday morning. She had like her heart stopped. She was like 62 years old. I saw her the other day. My friend Kim, she passed away. 2020 has been one of those dumb years. I'd say it's probably the worst year as far as like tragedies, and like you have Kobe Bryant, the coronavirus, you know, a friend dying. There's been a lot of crazy things this year, you know, a lot of crazy things. Do you guys think 2020 has been a bad year? I think it's been a bad year. Maybe it's been a good year for you, but not for me so much as far as the world and the news and all the media, you know. 1999 was a pretty bad year in wrestling, if you think about it. Vince Russo wrote a lot of 1999, so yeah, but we can't blame Vince Russo for it, you know. I don't blame Martha for not, I will say this much, I don't blame Martha for not winning Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is a joke. It's all about money. The WWE doesn't really care, so yeah. It's my opinion on that, so I don't blame her. They couldn't even put China in the Hall of Fame because of some dumb stuff. So yeah, they put her in the Hall of Fame with DX. But yeah, I watched pay-per-views back in the day when they were like $15 a pay-per-view, $20 a pay-per-view. I was watching WrestleMania 15. I watched Backlash and I watched Over the Edge. And I was only 8 years old. I didn't understand death so well as a kid. I was 8 years old when that happened. I remember watching the pay-per-view and parents saying, "Is he all right?" That's all I really remember. I mean, shoot. The last moments he's in the blue blazer gear and all that. And, you know, guys, it's just sad how, you know, life can be sometimes. I thought the Chris Benoit Eddie Guerrero documentary was really sad. Actually made me cry a little bit when Chavo was talking about Eddie, how he saw him in the bathroom and he was on the floor, you know. Pretty sad stuff. I mean, these documentaries are pretty good. I enjoyed the Brawl for All documentary. That was really good. If you guys saw the Brawl for All documentary, I thought that was a real good documentary, personally. That may not be a popular opinion either, but the Brawl for All documentary was pretty good. All these documentaries have been pretty good. The boy and Bart Gunn won it, and they didn't want to push Bart Gunn because they didn't really expect him to win, so they didn't know what to do with him. So Bart Gunn wins the tournament. Yeah, he was. Truth is, Owen Hart did it for money. Owen Hart did what he did because he wanted to support his family. That's why Owen Hart, from what Jerry the King Lawler says, Owen Hart did it for his family. That's why he didn't care. He just wanted to support his family, support his kids. You know, Mark Henry, he took this really upset. He was trained by Owen Hart. Mark Henry, it really hit Mark Henry a lot. Because Mark Henry, he was good friends with Owen Hart. He was trained in a dungeon, believe it or not, by Owen Hart and the Hart family. So Mark Henry actually mentioned in his Hall of Fame speech that got some heat, actually mentioned to Martha that Owen Hart should be in the Hall of Fame and he should be here, is what Mark Henry said. And Mark Henry, if you remember, he was crying in tears when Owen Hart passed away. Owen Hart, it hit Mark Henry pretty hard. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Henry was part of this documentary. Jeff Jarrett was another one. Deborah, because Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart were good friends. In 1999, they were tag team champions, I believe, in 1999. Jeff Jarrett took it pretty hard too. And it's going back, Bret Hart had he actually talked about it on WCW the night after, I believe, about Owen Hart dying. Yeah. Sorry if I sound kind of unenthusiastic right now. It's one of those things that looking back, it would have hit me a lot harder if I wasn't so young. I mean, 1999 was one of my favorite years of wrestling, honestly. The year 2000 was pretty good. Bobby Eaton, yeah, he's a nice guy. So as far as what you see on TV, he's a nice guy. Yeah, guys. I mean, it's just I'll clear the whole thing up and say this much: like the way he went, pay-per-view called Over the Edge, dying from the Raptors, falling because a rope breaks, and Now another topic about the whole thing is should the show had gone on, like should they had kept the show going on, And the main event was actually the next match was actually Jeff Jarrett and Deborah versus Val Venus and Nicole Bass, I believe. And Jeff Jarrett had no idea that Owen Hart had passed away. I don't think he did. He didn't seem like it. But yeah, they announced it at the pay-per-view that Owen Hart passed away. It's crazy. Imagine watching a pay-per-view and them announcing that Owen Hart has died, and how that can really get you chills, and you watch Stone Cold versus Undertaker in the main event. I remember seeing like Owen Hart's blood in the ring and stuff, and like, yeah, that's sad. That's makes it hard to watch. Theodore Long said in an interview that, the show should have went on because if they had stopped the show, everybody would have panicked thinking something horrible had happened, Maybe it wasn't the right move in some people's opinions, but maybe the show should have went on so they don't panic and we find out things later. But people at home, they're the ones that got hit hard by this, But you guys should go watch WrestleMania 10. Watch his last match. That was a pretty good wrestling. He had a feud with Stone. He broke Stone Cold's neck. Owen Hart, Stone Cold gave him a toast saying goodbye, basically. Yeah, might give me an Owen Hart t-shirt or something. An Owen Hart t-shirt. Maybe another belt to support him, Did Stone Cold like Owen? I don't know. Stone Cold, people have their differences in life, Like, I remember when D'Lo Brown broke Draws' neck, and Stone Cold was a salty person backstage, and I never heard of Stone Cold being like so much of a locker room leader, He seemed like he was kind of mean to people. Like he cussed out the Big Boss Man once for not giving his cue with a steel chair and all that. For breaking his neck, I think Owen Hart kind of messed up Stone Cold's career a little bit because Stone Cold's neck was really messed up after that pile driver move. I don't know if Owen Hart. I think maybe Stone Cold might have forgiven him by then. And life things happen. Unless you're that bitter, that resentful, and that angry, it's kind of how it is. Maybe Stone Cold secretly didn't like him. Who knows? Those are questions I can't answer. I think you should forgive him. It was wrestling. It was how it is. He didn't mean to break his neck or anything like that. It was an accident. I don't know. I guess that's a question I can never answer for you. But like I said, in wrestling, things happen. People get hurt. People get injured. Just the way it is. So I'm going to be watching a documentary tonight. I want to check it out. Maybe I'll review it, give you my thoughts on it, what I thought. You know, maybe I'll watch it live with you guys and I'll discuss it with you. Maybe that should be good. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed my live stream. I'm going to get back to work in a second. But yeah, the Owen Hart documentary, maybe it started already. It is tonight. You guys should watch it. If you're not going to watch it, that's up to you. It's on Vice, VICE. That's Vice. So you should totally check it out. If you've been watching since you were kids like me, you know exactly who Owen Hart is. And you've heard the tragedy and everything. You should watch his, like I said, WrestleMania 10 match. Watch his Stone Cold feud and maybe the final moments of his career as the Blue Blazer. I mean, if you want to, anyways. But Bret Hart, we love you, man. You had a good career, and I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Travis. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go and subscribe to me. I'm always live streaming. You can always talk to me if you want. I'll be doing a live stream probably tonight, maybe talking about the whole documentary. You see, I'm at work right now, but you know. Yeah, I know it's kind of an awkward place to do a live stream is here, but you know, it's kind of how it is. My YouTube channel is always random. But yeah, guys, watch the documentary tonight. I'll give you a review on it, and we'll talk more about it later. But peace out, everybody. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I can get back to work. But the Owen Hart documentary, check it out, and hope you guys enjoy it. And it's on WWE Jackson Parker, and the Blue Blazer rules, Owen Hart rules, and I'll see you guys tonight. So check it out. Peace out, everybody.